Hello, my YouTube family. How are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, coming to you once again with another video that I pray that you will enjoy, that will strengthen you and give you more understanding in the situation that you are going through. Please like and share the page and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you would like to write me, you can write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. I do offer sessions. If you are interested in them, you can write me and we can talk further about it. Thank you so much for everything you do and all of the fine comments that you're leaving at the page. Thank you so much. I want to talk to you about the narcissist and the alternate reality a lot of narcissists go through. And these channels are very, very strenuous because the supply is with the narcissist and they have no idea that they are a character in the role play. The narcissist live in an alternate reality world because his world is very empty, very void, very hostile. And they look for all the good that's in the supply. That's what drew the narcissist to you. So a narcissist oftentimes will have this alternate reality that they channel their energy into on a daily basis. This alternate world helped them to sustain living, helped them to be successful. And many narcissists, even when they're watching television programs and movies, they would take character out of that movie and attach themselves to that character, and they will role play that character. And if you watch the movie with them, you will notice some different traits and characteristics of the movies that start displaying in the narcissist. And you understand that that narcissist is role playing, and sometimes down to the very verbiage of the movie that they listen to. And sometimes the narcissist will make up their own world, and they're different from day to day because they're character playing. And when they're character playing inside of their mind, it's a real world. It's not an alternate world. That is their world. And these narcissists bring you into their thinking, and a lot of time it's laced with confusion, laced with challenging, laced with differentials that you don't know anything about it. They're unstable because their alternate reality have role plays, and they can sometimes play many characters. A lot of you have often said that it seemed like the narcissists have multiple personality, or they're bipolar. And many of the role plays require different character references that should be played out by the narcissist on that day, on that week. And sometimes they will hold the character all week and they will play out that character and bring you into that character. And just when you think you're understanding them, they role shift into another character. When you are going through things, it's just like memory. The memory is something because the memory engages all of your sensories. Your sensory, your eye gate, your nose gate, your mouth gate, your ear gate, your touch gate. And so you're feeling your way through things, smelling your way through things. Well, when you are going through your memory identifies the moment. And when your brain identifies the moment through memory, it has an exact recall of words and smell and situation. Even you can feel the wind, the coldness on your body. You remember everything, the smell, the way their breath smelled, the way their voice sound, whether it was a gala or whether it was a sad occasion. And so your brain has actual recall of the situation, and it will role play that situation in the mind. Many times with the narcissist, that's exactly what happened. Their sensory, all of them, their totality is involved in this role play of a situation that happened when they are a child, of a situation that is at work. This is why you, as the supplier, you're wondering what is happening, and you end up paying the price of something that has made the narcissist angry, somebody who's made the narcissist mad, somebody who said something to the narcissist. And the narcissist, in their mind, they don't see you. The narcissist see the person that did this to them. They see the person who's role played. They're seeing the person who's the actual character. And now the emotion that they have with that character, they are now exemplifying that emotion to you, that exact emotion. And then when they come out of that role, they're totally different. They treat you as if who you are. And then they're two different people. And you're wondering, were you okay? Because you was acting this. And the narcissist will tell you, I wasn't acting that. It's almost like that character or that personality or that was in that role stayed within that role and in that time. Now, this personality is in this time with you, talking to you. And so it's totally different. And some narcissists have been known to have multiple personalities, and they display themselves because of the trauma or the tragedy that they could not handle. So they got alternates, and they begin to display themselves through that alternate. And those who just do role play, character play, to handle the pressure that they're going through, they would role play that character, place all of the pressure that they're going through to that character, and then get the response from that character to you. And that can often be a lot of displeasure, since narcissists have been known to cause trauma and to cause pain, because they need that to validate why they are the way they are, because these gaping holes have no answers. And so when they are feeling this, they're sensing this, they're going through this, they are role playing and bringing you into this, and you never knew that you were a character. And then when you find out, many of you been with the narcissist long enough to know that the narcissist role play, you figure out that they're having a disillusionment moment. And in this disillusionment moment, you have learned to cater to that disillusionment moment until they know you're onto them. Then they turn violent, they turn angry, they ghost you, they gaslight you, they make you feel like you're confused, they make you feel like you are character playing, because the narcissist is wounded, because they feel a sense of immaturity, like the masks have fallen off and they have nowhere to hide. A narcissist reacts horrifically when they are exposed. They're like a little child that have their toy taken away. There's nothing for them to do but to lash out, to get angry, or to pick up their coat and leave, and you don't see them for a couple of days because they want to hurt you, because you were not supposed to unmask the character. You were supposed to play into the role. And this is very stressful psychologically, physiologically, socially, because you are so filled with what the narcissist was doing, and you are so full of which role he's going to play, what is he going to come in today, how is he going to be today, because the narcissist is known to go into a room, come out of the room, and they're totally different. You went in the room happy, nobody was in the room but you. Now you're coming out, you're screaming, you're hollering, you're mad. You were hungry when you went in the room, now you're not hungry. You like the food when you didn't went in the room, now you look at the food and you almost regurgitate. So you're trying to figure out what is wrong with him. And many of you have noticed over the years with the narcissist, because some of you have been with the narcissist a long time, and you're noticing over the years the role plays are becoming more extensive. And it's almost like it's harder as the time go on for him to come out of that role. And each time, and it's almost like mirroring. When the narcissist mirror a specimen or a supply, it's a role play. He played that mirror. And sometimes the narcissist can get it mixed up, especially when there are so many that they are dealing with at one time, until they're overriding or over characterizing in the wrong place. This character was meant for her, and this character was meant for her. And now, instead of giving Sheila this character, he's giving it to Betty. Well, that character wasn't meant for Betty. And so now they have a comeback zone. And the comeback zone is they make you look crazy and they don't understand what you're talking about. It's like when a narcissist texts you and they mix up the text. and you get the text and you show it to him. He said, well, the reason I did that is because I was writing somebody on my job. He said, and you like, why would you talk to somebody like this on your job? We're just close like that. That is not you being, are you accusing me? I think you got a jealousy problem or you have an insecure problem. The narcissists never stay with the focal point. That's the way they do with character. Sometimes they can get almost misidentify the role that they're supposed to play. You can even see the narcissists get confused. It's all in their eyes, or their role, there's not an extenuation to their role, and their role cease. And they're trying to add to their role, and there's nothing to add. So you see the narcissist go ballistic. That's when he go into silence. He go into ghosting you, you know, and you're trying to figure out why. Then the next thing you know, there's gaslighting, and he's lying, and he's belittling you. Then there's word salad. There's so many character traits that goes on in their alternate reality, because when the narcissists exist in this real world, they can't feel like you feel. They can't love like you love. They don't understand on the level that you are communicating with them through language and thought. And so that totally confuses them, and that confusion dislodge who they are. And most narcissists don't know who they are. They have so many personalities until they're confused who they are. So if they're confused, you know you don't know who they are. And that's why you can be married to a narcissist for 20 years, 30 years, and it's almost like you never get to the root of their personality, because they live in an alternate reality. This alternate reality becomes their comfort zone. It becomes where they're the strongest, because there's so much retaliation in this world, where in the alternate world, they're the king, they're the queen, they're in total control of their world until their world shatters. And in this world, they have contradiction in this world. They're dealing with people's minds. They're dealing with people's voices. They're dealing with people's feelings. They're dealing with uncomfortabilities. They get caught in the lie. They get challenged in the lie. And then they try to gaslight. And when they gaslight to bring in confusion, like they never said anything, this person holds them to the responsibility. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want you to hold them to responsibility. So they start bringing in flying monkeys, because they want to go back to their alternate reality, because this real world is too cruel for them, and they can't handle this because they're getting wounded over and over and over again. And so the narcissists, they can't feel, but they can be wounded. Well, they don't feel the good traits, but they can feel. They feel anger, they feel hatred, and they can even feel concern. They feel concern for you, but to love you and to cave into you, they gave that up. They made a consolidated decision not to love, not to yield themselves, not to lose control of their emotion. And they went in so deep until they went to the lockout zone. The lockout zone in the mind is when you are thinking, and you won't open that part of your mind until you lose how to open. You have practiced so much until you lose how to open. And sometimes the narcissists in their alternate reality will bring you so much into their character zone until you catch yourself, or you will lose your footing. The narcissist alternate reality trains your reality until your reality becomes his alternate reality, because he's dysfunctional in your reality and you're dysfunctional in his alternate reality. But he shifts you, because when the brain is exposed to something, the brain take it as a reality. And when you give a message that it's a non-reality, it's a non-reality because the brain know it does not exist, but the brain would exist that non-reality as a resistance, even though it knows that it's not a resistance if it's constantly role play. You lose the moment, you lose the role play, and that becomes part of your character. You start acting out that character, and you try to separate that character. And when you feel separated from that character, there's this void, there's this emptiness, because you recall the smells, you recall everything. And that's why when you lose, you finally walk away from the narcissist, or the narcissist discard you, your brain recalls the smell, the touch, the way you feel, the way your hair stood up on your shoulder, the way you laughed, the cologne he wore, or the grunt in his voice, or the growl in his voice, or the look in his eyes, or the demonic stare, how he stared you down, or how he walked in and you felt this wind brush you and everything in you shuddered, and you was wondering, what was that? And you start feeling these things, because you got to remember the brain is made to recognize moment, and it brings that moment to memory. And when you bring that moment to memory, you play that moment in memory like a movie. You role play it with sound and smell and touch. You even role play it with timelines. And so you can get on that on a consistency until when the narcissist do something, because some narcissists are methodical. They come in and they train you to time. They do something at exactly 8:15. And they're home at 8:15 because you need to be trained. They don't go anywhere. They're not triangulating because they have you in a training measure. So 8:15, they come home and they're doing this at 8:15, to the point that one day you look at the clock and you notice 8:15, boom, he role plays. And then so now you have learned at 8:15 he's going to do this. And 8:15 he's right on the money. But right as you get it down pat, boom, he's ghosting. Then he done did a discard. He did a discard for a week and he comes back. Why? Because you was getting too trained until you got a hold of the scheme of the training, the time of the training, and you was messing up his alternate world. You was bringing him into a reality check. He don't want a reality check, because the one thing the narcissists don't want to do is lose control, because the narcissist feel a sense of entitlement and he feels like there's no one better than him. So if the narcissist feel like there's no one better than him, you can never outdo them. And you got to remember, with you may feel like, I better not do this, I better hold back. The narcissists don't feel that. They feel like, I better do this, I better crush her, I better make sure she stay in line. And our humanity a lot of times have limitations, and it prevents us from hurting people or doing something that we may regret, as long as we stay in our right mind. You have to watch it when you're dealing with a narcissist and they're in that alternate reality, because that is their reality. They'll bring all the energy into your realm and all of that momentum into your realm, and some are so locked into that character until it is an actuality with them. And once you get there, it doesn't matter whether it's you, the children, or your family. They will role play with your family. This is why the narcissist is able, especially the covert. I mean, they're charming. They are so charming. They are just like taking a drug to your family. The family loves them. And then they get back and they play in another role. And you got to remember, because they psychologically, physiologically have an effect on you. And if they did a sonogram of your brain and the narcissist was by you, they will see all of that activity in the brain, because you don't know whether to stay, you don't know whether to run. So you're just all over the place inside. You're discombobulated inside. And so this shows up on a sonogram. Can you imagine the characters that the narcissist can play that protects them? And they use these character plays to protect them from you, because they don't want to be hurt or injured by you. So they enter into this character, they place all their responsibility on this character, and this character covers them, keep them, and this character is them temporarily. Well, what if the narcissist has 10 character plays that he wants to play that day? You are involved in all character plays based on the grade of the narcissist. Whether that narcissist is the lower, mid, or greater narcissist, that grade is going to matter. And then you get into the classes of the narcissist, whether they are covert, whether they are overt or whether they are a vulnerable narcissist. The vulnerable narcissist is really crazy because the introvert narcissist that need another narcissist. All of these are role plays. And a lot of times he or she is playing out what happened to them. They're telling you their story. Their mom misused them. There was a golden child. The golden child is horrific because they don't own anything, including their life, and they're miserable. And so they control other people because they can't control themselves. They feel like they have no control because their parents control their life. They became whatever the parent wants them to be. And if they leave, the parent kept up with them even when they got married, when they had children, when they was out of the house. The parent still kept up with them unto death. And so when their parent died, that role play keep on modularizing what they've been through. So you are a nervous wreck trying to figure out the location of this person's mind because of the different movies they play, the different roles. You almost hate to turn on the TV because you know they're going to pick a character out of that role and they're going to hide themselves in that character. And this means you will have to go through. You will be tormented. Your mind, your children, you have to protect the house, you have to protect the children, you have to protect your emotions. You're looking at the clock and they're operating in a timeline. You have to make sure you're aware of that timeline. And then when you go to sleep, you can hear them because they don't sleep a lot of time. Narcissists don't need a lot of sleep. So this narcissist wake up and they're in their role. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to get up at 5 and you got to go to work. They are role playing, which is going to keep you up because they're accusing you of things that you will sleep. And you're telling them, I was asleep, I didn't do that. And they think you think I'm stupid. You think, and you go to work and you tired, you can't half think. That goes on for a week and boom, they're in another character. They're in another alternate reality. And their brain is massively working, overworking, because the brain does not know this is alternate. The brain thinks this is their world. So the brain produces all of the chemical hormones that is subjected to the character that narcissist needs. If it's anger, he shoots it. If it's pity, he shoots it. If it's confusion, he shoots it. Whatever that character requires in that alternate world, and they see that world as a reality. They envision their world as a reality. The reason some narcissists left, they didn't leave you just even where they discarded you. The character required them to leave. So they went with the character. And when that character left, they come back home. And when they come back home as if they never left. They come back home to you as if that character did not exist. Because when they merge with those characters, those become alternates. And that's why we call it an alternate reality. Because those alternates have role played, time played, and some of those characters are limited. They are going to play them only that day, and that character's out. They're going to play that character, another character, all week, and they're out. Some of them playing for 3 months. They're gone for 3 months. And they come back, babe, and they left off with you, and they take up with you in the last place they left. 3 months ago, they was talking about this. 3 months has passed. A lot has changed. They come talking about the same thing they was talking about 3 months ago. And you almost thinking, something wrong with me. That's what the narcissist wants you to think. When a narcissist deal with an alternate reality, he's totally engaged. She is totally engaged. Female narcissists are worse because they're more detailed and because their nurturing has broken, but the female of them is still there. It's just in hostile mode. They play it out even worse with more detail. And the male become more subjective because she may be seductive. That's just a role. Now she's not seductive. Y'all made love all week 4 times a day. This week she telling you don't touch her. And she'll tell you, I've been telling you that for the longest. And you're like, no, you ain't, because yesterday we was together 6 times. She said, you're lying. And I know you're lying. Don't play me. Because that role is not there. That alternate world has shifted. It has changed. This is a different movie. The movie you had was rated R. This movie is rated G. All of the character and the immaturity of their narcissist come. They don't take responsibility. And it's like living with a child. And you're wondering, what is going on? The narcissists have you so confused. You got to remember, NPD is an irreconcilable personality disorder. And they don't care who you are. They feel like they can handle you because they feel like nothing is more intelligent, more wise than them, more engaging than them. So once you know this, you have to prepare yourself for this. Prepare your mind for this. Strengthen your mind. Work on your mind. No matter what phase the narcissist is in, never neglect your mind, because your mind is the center of your strength. Build, build, build. Read, read, read. Listen to these videos. Stay with these videos. Stay abreast to these videos. Don't let these videos get beyond you. Well, once again, I hope you have enjoyed this. And I'll come back and do some more on the alternate reality. But I pray that this video bless you and that you get strengthened from this. And those of you who are going through alternate realities with the narcissist and you are brain tired, your brain is tired. You may need a day with mom. And if you have a possessive narcissist, I mean, take a bath and have a long bath, because your mind, when it gets tired, it needs a break, because you don't want a soul break. And role playing can do that, especially when you have shifters. And I'll do that at another time, because you do have your alternate realities, but they are called shifters. Then you have your shape shifters. We will do all of that in the next video. I'm Helen Sattler, and I'm your Destiny Helper. Please feel free to write me at Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Remember, I offer sessions with you. My daughter, Dr. Carmen Bryan, if you need a licensed professional therapist, you can go on her site on Dr. Carmen Bryan, Redefining Yourself, and she talks about narcissist abuse, and she specializes in the field. So those of you who need a professional, please go to Dr. Carmen Bryan. She is my spiritual daughter, and she is a professional. She's one of the best in the state of Washington, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it. I offer sessions and coaching, and I offer it on a different field than from her. She's a professional therapist. I offer coaching. I have 30 years under my belt of experience with this, and so I am well qualified to assist you. And even if I assist you and I know that you need a more structural basis professionally, I will refer you to her, and you will not regret any of this. So please like and share the page, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next video. God bless you.